Halperin. How you doing?
Appraise the strengths of the Harris campaign, and if you would, just tick through the battleground states and say how you see each one of them.
I think the Harris campaign, and I believe this comes from the anti-democratic forces inside the Democratic Party. In shifting out when President Biden was taken off in 10 days off the ballot, it seemed to me at the time that they should have some sort of mini primary so that people like Governor Pritzker and Whitmer and Newsom and Shapiro, whoever else, wanted to jump in here and actually make the case in some sort of period of time up until the convention, could actually go and make a case of what they stand for. She started with this incoherent politics of joy. And she understands that you can't, she wasn't getting traction on this. And that's why she pivoted. She needed to take one or two at most topics like President Trump's Make America Great Again, or President Trump's Secure the Border, or President Trump's Bring Jobs Back from China. Take one or two things that resonate with this country and working class people and drive it every day. You haven't seen that. That's why now she's talking about people being fascists and people being this. I think right now, President Trump, just like in 16, right, we have a chance to win the states we won in 16, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, if the grassroots delivers. And I think maybe even throw in Nevada, which we didn't win in 16. I think President Trump could get up to over 300 electoral votes if people are focused today. And I think the Harris campaign it's not focused, and it's particularly not focused on issues that are obviously at the highest levels of the American people. So I think if the job of the grassroots is done, and this is why I'm not sure it's important for me to go to a rally with President Trump or go to a rally with other people, but to do the work that you need to have done to make sure those votes get out there so that there's no question, even if some things happen on ballot counting over, that we have gotten big enough margins that the votes that were remaining were bigger. We have bigger margins than the votes outstanding remaining.
I asked you about her strengths, and you just listed weaknesses. Does her campaign have any strengths?
I think, for people that align with progressive values, right, I think Vice President Harris has spoken to those values. I don't think she did it in a way that could broaden out to a general election, but clearly she's Vice President of the United States. She's been a U.S. Senator, right? She clearly has strengths. She's proven that in the past. I don't think she's done it in this regard. And I think some of her strengths, particularly in areas that she should have been in, like in sitting in the Situation Room and knowing this, when Bret Baier asked her a week ago, what is the #1 geopolitical threat to the United States? What is the United States' #1 competitor on the world stage? And she instantaneously said Iran. And Bret Baier tried to help her, and he says, we know some people say China, hint, hint. She says, oh no, Iran. If you say that Iran is the #1, a regional power, is the #1 threat to the United States of America, given what the Chinese Communist Party, which is a mortal enemy, not the Chinese people and not the nation of China, but the Chinese Communist Party, a mortal enemy of the United States. If you sit there and want to be commander-in-chief and you say the #1 threat when you have a chance to back off and say it's Iran, you're not ready to be commander.